Welcome back, trainers, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at Shadow Articuno with multiple teams here to see what we can do. And funny enough, the first battle that I did have was going to be up against another Articuno, although mine is the only Shadow here. So we are going to be going with Ancient Power and of course Icy Wind and then Ice Shards for this thing. Articuno is a pretty tanky Pokemon as it is, so being a Shadow, it's not really taking so much more damage. It's still going to be able to take those hits just fine. So let's see what we have going on here. So it looks like I went for that Ancient Power, and they're going to be able to take me out with this Icy Wind here. Oh, they're going to be able to get one more quick move. Now, for the first battle, we are using Typhlosion. I really want to use Shadow Typhlosion, but for the Articuno pairing, it just didn't work, or at least the Pokemon that it was throwing at me. So yeah, we're just going to take that off the team here in a bit. But I am going to be using Shadow Dragonite. I was trying to go with an all-Shadow team, but you know. It's just a little bit rough sometimes with those. Okay, so unfortunately we're going to have to use our last shield here, farming down these Surfetched. Going to be able to do a ton of damage to this Giratina if they let this go here. They're going to be shielding it up using their last shield, trying to swap as you've seen there, but our clock wasn't quite up, so we're going to have to take this Shadow Sneak and bring in Typhlosion, but they're already low enough, and this is not very effective, but it certainly is going to be doing enough, and Shadow Typhlosion is taking the win for us there. Alright, next battle, we're going to be leading with Articuno the entire time here, and like I said, multiple different teams throughout, and I do believe Obstagoon is going to be alongside Articuno for a lot of the video here. Alright, so we're up against Cresselia. We're going to shield up that first Moonblast initially, so now we can lower their attack, and we're actually going to be able to get to another Icy Wind here, so they're going to be double debuffed on their attack, and now we can easily let these go while having a ton of health here. And that was perfect, looking good, and we are down a shield, but that's okay. Oh, no, never mind, they used one as well. So we're looking perfect here. As you've seen, those Moonblasts still not doing too much, and even being a Shadow, it is just tanking these hits and constantly lowering their attack with the Stab Icy Wind. It's a really good move. You gotta love it. Alright, so we're going to be able to finish them off there, and we should be able to get to an Icy Wind and up against a Charizard. Could have went for the Ancient Power, but let's see if they want to shield this up anyways, and they do, using up their last shield. But unfortunately, they're going to be able to farm us down and gain a ton of energy. But fortunately for us, we do have a Swampert, and so do they. As they are swapping, we're going to go ahead and bring in our Obstagoon and just start absorbing these here. Obstagoon can take a hit so long as you're not going up against your weakness fighting, right? 4 times weak to that. So yeah, we can take another Hydro Cannon here, no problem at all, and we're looking good. Real nice. All right. If you do enjoy my videos, folks, make sure you do give it a thumbs up. I really do appreciate that. Gonna try to counter down. Great, and we are looking real low. Unfortunately, they're taking us out, but it doesn't really matter at this point. Blast Burn is gonna dig in. They're gonna go for a Dragon Claw first, but I'm just gonna let this go just because we can. It's not like a Shadow Swampert, so we don't have to worry about getting KO'd here. Alright, going for Hydro Cannon, which is going to take out the Charizard, and looking good. Let's keep it moving here. What are we going to be met with that Articuno in the lead? A Thundurus. Okay, now that is something I have really never seen in Go Battle League before, or at least in the Ultra League. Alright, so we're going to shield up that first one, hitting me with a Crunch and getting the defense debuff. Going for the Icy Wind here, and if they hit me with an electric move, that's still going to do a ton. But I feel like they're going to go for another Crunch, so we'll go ahead and just let this go here. And yeah, there it is. They're bringing in a Wall Rain. We're going to go for Ancient Power. This is going to do a decent amount of damage and swap into our Obstagoon because we don't want them to start farming up. And look at this team here. This is pretty crazy. They also have a shiny Rayquaza. What is with these Rayquazas that I'm encountering? Every time I put ice on my team, they start coming out of the woodwork here. I'm not complaining. Oh, double ice. Do you see that? This was the first time I put double ice. So we got Articuno and Wall Rain there that we haven't showed. And we just got the boost as a matter of fact. But we're easily going to let this go. So we have double ice and we're pulling out these crazy Pokemon on the other teams here. Isn't this wild? So bringing in Articuno. Could have went with Wall Rain to farm them up. As soon as they bring in their Wall Rain, we immediately swap into ours. They back out and we take that win. Let's keep it going here. So if you do have one of these, I do say it's absolutely worth your investment. If you've seen the ones that I did have at the beginning, one of them has high attack and high defense, but like 1 in HP, and that is going to be pretty horrible to power up. But if that's all you've got, that's what you got to work with. I guess it's still worth the investment for Ultra League, seeing that you're not powering it up beyond, crazy Stardust levels, right? and you're just gonna have to purchase that secondary move. All right, up against Obstagoon here, we're going blow for blow, throwing the Icy Wind and taking them out. Nobody's used a shield yet, and they're bringing in a Charizard to farm us up just enough so they can start throwing some hard-hitting moves here, and that is a Shadow Charizard. So this is still gonna hurt the Tapu Fini. Take a look at this Blast Burn. Wow. Over half of my health. That's pretty crazy. So bringing in their Trevenant, we're going to swap into our Obstagoon, and we're playing rock, paper, scissors right about now. So we're going to go ahead and throw this, take them out. We don't want to use any shields here. Well, actually, I think we might want to. I screw up on this one. You're going to see what happens here. So a lot of people will be trying to wait just for the perfect time to immediately swap in and then start farming up, right? Kind of like a snipe, but not at the same time just hitting a charge move to take you off guard, because all right, we used our last shield and I can swap and then take me out, or at least bring me close. So I'm getting ready here. I'm thinking like they're gonna swap any second now. And do I use the shield? Yeah, we're gonna use this up, and I think they're gonna swap, but they don't. Freaking bring in the Tapu Fini, and we're in a horrible position. I'm like, come on, hey, you were supposed to swap right there, but we're able to take it out. And I thought they were gonna get to a Blast Burn, but I guess they did not have enough energy, and we're gonna be able to get to the Surf and take the win with the Tapu Fini. Let's get it. Thank goodness. All right, moving it on. What are we going to see for the next one here? Show me a good lead. A Giratina. Oh, yeah. Love to see that. Are they going to stay here? Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, look at the damage they're doing with the quick move. Also, Ancient Power is going to be doing quite a bit of damage, so they don't really need to go anywhere here. After I do lower their attack, we're still going to be taking quite a bit of damage from Ancient Power, but we can definitely let it go. But they're going to swap into a Swampert, and we're going to go ahead and lower that defense first before we do swap into our Tapu Fini to take control of the situation. As much as I wanted to farm it all the way down, I don't think I was going to be able to do that. Hitting me with an Earthquake. Still doing a decent amount of damage after we did bring their attack down here. So let's see how much a Hydro Cannon does. We can easily survive another one here, but I got a little nervous. We could have, but we're just going to go ahead and go for the Surf and take them out here. Unfortunately, not going to be able to get off a Moonblast up against Giratina. And they're going for a charge move. Do believe this is going to be Dragon Claw. Not enough to take us out, so we're going to go ahead and just throw the Surf. Might as well do a little bit of damage before we do go down. And, hey, some is better than none, right? So I'm contemplating what I want to bring in. We're going to go ahead and go with Obstagoon in case they have a fighter in the back, and it is going to be a Charizard, so I immediately swap into the Articuno so they can't gain too much farm here. And I have to call this, if this is a Dragon Claw, oh my goodness, now we're not looking good whatsoever here, and Obstagoon is really going to have to pull this off here for us, because they're going to take us out with a Blast Burn, easy money. But we did lower their stats, so the Obstagoon should be able to handle this situation here. So taking me out with that Blast Burn, immediately going for the Night Slash on the Obstagoon to see if we could take out this Charizard. And it's not enough. Can we farm them down? Unfortunately not. Please let this just be a Dragon Claw. And no, it's a Blast Burn, yeah. And they're getting out their charge move immediately. Do believe they got Shadow Claw, so they're not going to be able to farm us down that way. Going for a Night Slash. This is not going to be enough. A couple, oh, we got the boost, and they're getting to a charge move, folks. This is getting crazy. They still have that Charizard in the back. We've got 2 HP. We take out the Giratina, and then we take out the Charizard with literally 2 HP. That was crazy. All right, we're going to swap up the team. We're going to put Snorlax and Machamp at the back, and of course, Articuno up front. Let's see what we're going to be met with here. Wanted to show you what we're encountering in a Komo. Oh, well, that's a fantastic lead for us here. We do have that fighter in the back with the normal. And they're swapping into Obstagoon, and we're immediately going to bring in our Machamp. And this is literally rock, paper, scissors to the max. So they're going to go ahead and back out, and there's really, there's nothing you can do. I mean, come on. That's why sometimes this game can get pretty frustrating that way. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put in Giratina, and it is going to be the Shadow Force one that I do use here. So let's see what we can pull off. Actually, we did quite a bit with it. Every time I use that Shadow Force, it puts in the work. All right, so we're met with a Galvantula. I really can't complain because we've been having an okay amount of leads. So it's been almost like 50-50 for the leads. But obviously this isn't great, but we're going to let this go thinking it's going to be a lunge, and that's exactly what it is. Unfortunately, not able to get to another Icy Wind, and this lunge will be able to take us out. Now, I'm going to bring in our Giratina because, well, I'm not going to start throwing punches at that spider over there. It's just going to do basically nothing, and I'm not trying to get to a rock slide. So we're going to bring in Giratina, and I'm going to farm them all the way down. Now, we could have got off the Dragon Claw a long time ago, but I decided to just go ahead and build up that energy with that Shadow Force on there to see what we can do. And they're swapping into their Greedent. We're going to bring in our Machamp to have a little fun here. Now, keep in mind we do have Rock Slide, and we're going to be swapping that one out for the Payback one here in a bit to see what we can do, because we kept on encountering ghost or a psychic type at the end with 1 shield, and they were shieldless, and we could have potentially won, but we had Rock Slide. Alright, so bringing back that Galvantula, we're going to let this go, and it is a lunge. We are surviving, and they're bringing in a Scrafty, farming us down, and this is not going to be particularly great, but we do have a whole heck of a lot of energy here, and a decent amount of health, as well as 2 shields, so I think we're going to be looking pretty good. So let's go ahead and just start. Oh, we only got 1 shield. Starting to throw these Dragon Claws, and it is going to add up here. Of course, we can't go for Shadow Force, letting that Night Slash go. Foul play, I should say, because, well, we can survive these counters, and we're going to shield up whatever they do throw us. Well, it doesn't really matter anymore because we're going to be able to take the win with the Dragon Claw. Spam crazy with that energy buildup in Shadow Claw. Next battle, we're going to be met with a Charizard, and this is particularly, and not horrible, it's not a pure steel type, so I guess we'll go ahead and take it. Sometimes you just have to call that bait, so we're going to go ahead and let it go, and it is a Dragon Claw. Thank goodness. That would have sucked if it was a Blast Burn. We would have went down with all that energy going for the Icy Wind to lower their attack, and I had a feeling they were going to be baiting me again, but I really didn't want to risk it, so we're going to go ahead and shield it up to see if they want to double shield their Charizard, and we're getting to another Icy Wind, which should pretty much be enough to take them out if they let it go, or bring them pretty low. A couple more quick moves. They're shielding it up and double shielding. Sounds good to me. So we're going to let this go, hitting me with a Blast Burn, using up that energy, bringing in Giratina, and they're going to be swapping into Swampert. So we're going to actually go for the Shadow Force since they are shieldless at this point, plus it's Stab, and it's worth it. I was contemplating, is it better to just keep going Dragon Claw? Nah, let's just go for the Shadow Force. That's going to be what we want to do here. Letting both of those Hydro Cannons go, no problem at all. And this is just about going to KO. A couple more quick moves, and we farm them down. Great. Nice coming out of there with a little bit of energy. And what are they going to be bringing into the fight here? It's going to be that Charizard, and this Dragon Claw is not going to be enough. It's going to be pretty close. I think I want to swap into our Machamp if they are shielding this up. Alright, never mind. They're shieldless. Duh. Okay. Long day. And here's one of those situations where if I had payback and I have a shield, I could have won. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and swap that out here in a bit. Yeah, hitting me with the Shadow Ball, I had to call that for a Surf or a Bubble Beam, so at that point it was pretty much a wrap. So I want you to see what happens here. Let's go ahead and put on the Payback Machamp, see what we can do with it right out of the last battle without any sort of transition. Let's see what we got going on here. Met with a Giratina, off to a good start. Let's get it. They're going to be staying here. They do have Shadow Claw. This is pretty good. Now this could be an Ancient Power, so we will shield it up. Shadow Sneak, very nice. Bringing in their Regice, and we immediately swap into our Machamp. And we're not going to throw anything with our Articuno. We want to hold on to that energy. We don't really need to lower their attack, as we're going to still be able to take this thing out here. So long as they don't shield up, we're going to be looking good. Alright, letting that Zap Cannon go and farming them down. And I was getting pretty excited. I was like, oh, are we going to be able to actually land Payback? They did lower our attack. Don't worry, this is just a Rock Slide. Come on. And of course they shield it up. Are you kidding me? They never freaking shield up my Machamps. But the one time I use Payback, of course they're going to be shielding it up. And my attack has been dropped. Great. So we're going to hit them with an Icy Wind, swap into our Giratina. So their attack's going to be doing not really too much here. And they're going to be swapping into their Cresselia. Alright, now... Ooh, this is a good opportunity to go for Shadow Force, huh? So I should have built up to it, but at this point, once you kind of waste that energy for the first Dragon Claw, and they're going to be able to outpace you with those Moonblasts, it's almost better to just keep spamming the Dragon Claw, especially if you have something in the back that's going to be able to come in and help you out and pretty much take out the Cresselia. So here we go, got to commit to the Dragon Claw. We still bringing them down pretty low anyways and getting to the Icy Wind. So now if they throw, they're not going to be doing as much as they would before here. So this is perfect. They're shielding it up as well. And we're going to let this go. We can take this Moonblast, no problem at all. Like I said, Articuno is a tank. And I do believe they're going to be catching with their Charizard here. We're going to let this go. It baiting me with a Grass Knot and swapping. And this is perfect here. We still need to take it out anyways. Cresselia has no health left. Giratina. And we farm them down with Articuno. Star of the show. Let's go. Next battle. What are we going to see? It's a Pidgeot. All right. This is great here. I do believe this is the last battle. They swap into their Alolan Muck, and we bring in our Machamp to go to town here. It does have Poison Jab, so I'm going to suspect they're going to be going for Acid Spray. Alright, we don't need to shield up any sort of dark moves here. And there's that Acid Spray. Didn't think I was going to make it to the farm down, so we're not going to play any games and find out. Just going to go ahead and take them out here so we can get our alignment back up. They are going to get a decent amount of farm, but that's nothing to be really worried about when we go up against it with our Articuno. Brave Bird, yeah, it's going to do a decent amount if they go for it, but they're going for the Feather Dance. Let's get it. Then we're going to go for the Icy Wind immediately and start lowering their stats as well. and they're going to be shielding up that first one. We're still going to do a lot of damage, so at this point, if they go for another feather dance, that's going to be 4 times down on their stats for attack, and they're bringing in a Swampert. So this is not for the damage, this is just to lower, a Trevenant, just to lower their stats. So now they're not going to be doing as much. Bringing in our Giratina, and Shadow Claw on this doesn't really want to go up against Pidgeot too much, although the Dragon Claw is going to do some damage, right? And then we have Shadow Force, so that's useless. Farming them down and holding on to both of our shields, getting to the Dragon Claw. Yeah, we had a pretty good lead right out the gate here. So, yeah, we're looking good. Going for another Dragon Claw, and looks like the Giratina is going to be able to finish it off. Oh, they said I want to fight until the very end. We're going to easily let this go, no problem at all. But again, folks, if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you for watching, and I'll be catching you all next time. Take care.
The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Hey! So you're finally here! Fantastic!
Touch the cat. This is the best day.